Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Under the Stars. This is a contract in the East Beskids region. This contract is unlocked after completing Planet Express, and you do need to have 2 telescopes in your sideboard cargo. So we're going to be using the Actaeon. In addition to that, I have anchors, jack screws, and some extra fuel in the free sideboard slots that we had. If you have any questions about my vehicle loadout, you'll find that in the description below. So, let me tell you what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be starting from the northeast outpost, and we're going to be making our way down through the mountains, up over to these island chains, and then we're going to cross through them. This is where we're going to install the first telescope, and then we're going to continue going through these islands, up and over this shoreline, across over to this island. Right over here we're going to be going through a bridge, so if you want to follow this route, make sure you have that bridge built. It is 75 spare parts if you don't have that done. And then we're going to cross over to this mainland over here and climb up the mountain here to install the second telescope. So we got a lot of distance to travel here, so that being said, let me go ahead and show you how it's done. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and climb right on up this rock and out of the outpost. We're going to head right up this hill here and up through the snow. And right over here, we're going to go right on over this rock and right on down this hill. Make our way through the woods here. Nothing too complex going on here. And right over here, we're going to head up to the left. We're going to go right up this rock here. This is going to allow us to bypass that big mud pit there. Right on up the hill to the right. Right on through the little snow here. And then over here through another little snow patch. Make our way through this snow here. And then from here, we're going to head right down into these rocks here. We're just going to travel right along these rocks and just follow this little crevice all the way down. Right up here, we can climb up onto this rock, get on out of there. And then we got some snow to go through. There's some pretty deep stuff here, but it's no trouble at all for the Actaeon. Just kind of keep the thing in first gear or low gear, and we'll just power right on through this. We're going to head up this way, and we got some more rocks that we're going to navigate through. So we're just going to go right down the middle here. I'm going to take it nice and easy as we climb up over these rocks. Right on down through here. And once we get to the bottom, we're going to head to the right and make our way down to the lake shore. When we make our way down here, we're going to head up to the left side here. So go right on over this tree. Going to stay on this left side here. Up and around this rock. And then from here, we're going to head down into the rocks. There we go. Gotta straighten ourselves out with the winch there. We're just going to slowly make our way down these rocks here. And then from here, we're going to go right on across the water. And we're just going to go right for all these kind of high spots on the ground here. Slowly make our way across. Right up here by this tree. And there we go. Alright, so once we made it to this island, we just need to go across this island. So we're just going to climb right on up these rocks here. And then right on up the hill. Through these rocks here. We're going to head down this other side, right next to these rocks here, and squeeze right on through the trees. And right over here, we're going to make our way across. So we're just going to stay on the left side of this rock here, because it's pretty shallow, right on the edge here. And that is going to give us a chance to kind of cut across here. And then right over here we can use these rocks to climb on up the other side. And we just need to cross up onto the top of this island, and we'll be at our first telescope location. So right up on top here is going to be our first telescope location, so let's go ahead and get that installed. And with the first telescope installed, it is time to make our way to the second one. So we are right here on this island. So we're going to cross over to this island, then cross over to this mainland, and then over to this island, across over here, and then up on top of the mountain. And that is going to get us to the second telescope. So let's go ahead and get started. So for here, this one's pretty simple. We're just going to go right through the trees here. And that is going to give us a nice path down over to the river crossing. It's kind of steep here, so just kind of be careful. And this crossing is not too bad. There's a lot of high spots here, so we're just going to kind of zip right in between those. We've actually got an airdrop here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. I like taking a look at those. What do we got here? Some extra anchors, and we need to top off on fuel anyway, so let's go ahead and just top off. Alright, so once we made it over to this island, we're going to go ahead and climb right on up. And once we get down here, there's a big pond in the middle of the island here, so we're just going to stay right on this right edge and just make our way around that. Nice and carefully, we don't want to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing flipped back over. I was trying to avoid doing that. That's not going to work. We're going to have to throw an anchor down. I think we grabbed a couple of those. There we go. Quick little recovery there, and we're on our way. That's just such a tough spot. It's at such a weird angle, and you have to kind of go down the rock and around to the left. So just watch out for that spot. But as long as you got safety equipment with you, you should be able to get yourself fixed up pretty quick. Go ahead and continue on our way here. We're going to go around this rock and make our way down. A lot of dips and divots on this one, so we're just going to take it nice and easy here. And then we get to cross more water. This one's not too bad. It's pretty quick to get across. It's not super deep here. There's plenty of trees in case you get bogged down in the mud. I'm just going to zoom right across the water there. And then climb up into these hills. So we're going to go up into the snow here, kind of go around these trees. It's not super deep snow there. And go up around this corner to the left. And we're going to back it down. There's another airdrop here. Let's go check that out. Kind of getting distracted by airdrops, but we'll grab some more anchors and be on our way. Kind of hoping we get some like gemstones and stuff while we're doing this, get some extra cash. Not that we really need it, but it's always fun to grab extra cash while you're out doing your expeditions. We're going to keep on going down here. It's kind of a tricky spot here. Go right on up this rock here. There we go. I'm just going to go right around the edge of the snow. Go here, and then we can get across. It's not super deep here, but it'll still slow you down, so try to stay out of it as much as you can, even though it's not completely avoidable. And we're going to make our way over here. Right on down these rocks here. It's kind of narrow. Squeeze right on down there. Up through these trees. And here we are at another river crossing. So we're going to go ahead and cross the water. This one's a little bit trickier than the others, but it's not too bad. Caught on a rock there, we'll pull this with the winch. This is definitely one of the more difficult crossings we're going to be doing on this route. Just because of all the rocks in the mud do kind of make it a little trickier to deal with that current. Once we get up over here, we can head to the right. And head on over to the right here. We're going to follow the shoreline up until where we can cross up into the hills. Nice little campsite here. We can honk the horn and say hello. Right up this hill. And now we're going to head over to that bridge I was talking about at the beginning. We're going to head right on down through the gap in the rocks here. And And right across the bridge, and as I mentioned before, if you don't have the parts for this bridge, it is 75 spare parts to go ahead and get that bridge built. So right here, we're going to go right around the backside through these trees. And then right over this rock here, another little tricky drop down. And right on through the water. And around to the right here, around this tree. And then we got our final water crossing here. This one's going to be a little tricky. We do have to deal with the current a lot more at the start here. But it isn't super deep. We should be able to get that traction we need to climb on up. We're going to head right over to this next little island here. We're going to do the same thing, climb right on up. And that is the worst of it. The rest of this isn't too bad. Not a lot of current over here. Alright, now we're going to do a lot of climbing here. So, get ready for some climbing action, because we're going to be basically climbing up from this point forward until we get to that telescope location. First thing we're going to do is climb up through these rocks here, and then we got to swing around to the left here. And then we got to climb right on through these rocks here. It's narrow, but it's just wide enough for our truck to fit through here. So we make our way right on through these rocks. Once we get through that, we got some snow to climb over. So we're going to go right over here to the right side around these rocks. And right here, we're going to go right up through the middle. Kind of slow going through the snow here. We are almost to our climbing spot. And there's our climbing spot right there. So we're going to climb up onto this rock here. And then there's just a really nice path we can use to get to the top of this mountain. So right on up here. Tricky little spot here with some rocks. Once we get over that, we just gotta head right on up the hill. It's a really tight turn. And go ahead and park on the square and install the telescope. And this is a great place to get some shots if you want to just get some scenery shots here. But anyway, that is going to complete Under the Stars, and that is going to reward you with the Rock Crawler kit for the Descent S3T. So I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.